Hello and welcome to the conclusion of the epic trilogy that is Life Stories. Making Friends at Anime Conventions. Drunk White Girl Edition. Or maybe it's part...
Oh boy.
Or maybe it's part 2. I'm not sure. Yeah, you were actually in and out. You were actually indirectly and directly involved with some of this shit. So it's kind of good we have you here because I know there's a lot of stories you heard bits and pieces of or you're at the beginning of, didn't find out how it ended and vice versa.
Yeah.
I'm your host and sometimes referee, Zach Stad Pearson. And of course, I'm joined by the officer who I honestly wish I had known or rather remembered that his biological relatives are police officers, so some of this shit could have got resolved a lot quicker. A one officer, 9,000 plus one.
Hey, how you doing?
All right, so in our last harrowing adventure, we learned how I met friend of the show, but technically not member, Raven, or rather how I kept bumping into her and we eventually became friends at the conventions because she was drunk in a hallway, or rather not drunk, in a hallway, unconscious, right?
In front of her own hotel room, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think you were there for that episode, but if not, hey, we got it up, so you can go and watch it. So this one ties back into the first beginnings of this, more specifically Clarissa Doring. I don't know if it's Doring or Doring. I don't know if the H is silent, but I say Doring. Anyways, okay, so at some point in time in 2011 or late 2010, I was in the middle of changing states and going to school for college. So I don't know why people were up my ass about, hey, seeing how far you can get with Clarissa, blah, 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 blah. Because first off, me and Clarissa never had a relationship that was based in anything remotely sexual. Did I like her? Yes. But I'm also not stupid. Her ass is in Michigan. My ass is in Illinois. Common sense would dictate, stick with the girls you can go with in Illinois. But also, I'm temporarily moving states for college. So, really, I'm not trying to do shit that's not platonic with anybody at this point. Right? And I found out she moved into Illinois. God fucking damn it. However, it's who she moved into Illinois with.
Oh dear.
Now, we haven't brought him up, but there's a friend of mine who's like two people who are the linchpins of me having my spider sense go off in this story. And the first one is Alex. And not to be confused with Alex Spearland, but for the time being, we're going to call this guy Alex King. Because I don't know his last name, and this story involves two people named Alex.
King, oh my. I actually know a guy named Alex King.
Oh shit, it might be him. Is he dark-skinned?
No.
Okay, it's not him then. And another Alex by the name of Spearland, and also Stephanie Floor, and a girl who really helped me get this shit figured out, Holly Morgan, and Vincent Perez, who I always just call Perez because I know too many fucking Vincents. And some of them even have the similar builds. Now, here's what happened. I was talking to Alex one day while I was in Florida. And he informed me that, hey, that's not my account, or something happened to his account. This dude who was calling himself quote-unquote Dia got into it. And he basically wiped everything out. I was like, that name sounds familiar. Didn't I meet him before? Like, yeah, he was at that party that IPG was throwing for Halloween or something down in Koreatown. I was like, oh yeah, I met Holly there. I was like, oh yeah, you know Holly? Yeah, she my girl. I was like, oh, okay. Good on you. Holly was a cool person. But she's one of those people who doesn't understand how funny or epic she is at random. So she thinks she's like 10 times worse than she is. Basic young adult shit at this point in modernity. So he starts telling me about Dia. And I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. He is literally robbed or just gone in the door and stolen merchandise from vendors that he doesn't even use. He just wanted it. Then when he realized he didn't give a shit about it, tried to sell it, wasn't even hiding that he stole it, just claimed he never stole it. People are being mean to him. I was like, well, that sounds already sociopathic.
Being mean to him?
Yes.
The guy's a thief.
Jenny, at first a lot of people thought he was kleptomaniac, but no, he is just a sociopath. If he sees something pretty and likes it, he will try to take it if he can. So, eventually, he lets me know, oh yeah, he went and did all this. You're like, are you serious? Damn, he seems so nice at the club. And I was like, dude, think about it for a second. And I did. This dude got 3 people's numbers and 2 of them had boyfriends. I'm just sitting up here like, oh yeah, that's right. He's a slutty ass manhole. But damn, I know it was Steve too. I was like, well, look, I'm not exactly hanging out with the guy anymore. Or at all because I'm in a different state. So he got into basically letting me know his laundry sheet of shit he done. Okay? Now, at some point in time, I'm in the middle of heading back from Florida. I basically left after freshman year. I'm not going to say I was down there all 4 years. I left after freshman year. And I'm coming back and I started chatting up Holly a little bit more, not in a, sexual way, because at this point in time, or pretty much all the times I've known Holly, she got a man. And I feel like that needs to be clarified, my intentions, because, well, fuck the bullshit. People don't want to understand platonic until you force platonic on them. So I'm making it known right now in posterity. I don't think she's ever going to hear this or read this hear this or see this, but I was not trying to do anything. I did not have sexual relations with that Holly, so to speak. It was all platonic stuff, and I thought she was genuinely a cool person. That's why we exchanged numbers in the first place. I'm one of those people who can actually go to a convention, and I'm not getting your number for ass purposes. You cool, and I want to see more of you, or just hang out with you and shit like that, if we're actually from the same state. Which, it's kind of sad, or a little bit rare for me, but most of the women, or just people in general I like, or think are cool at a convention, they don't live in the same state as me, or if they do, they're in bumfuck middle of nowhere place. Not saying it's a bad place, but it's in the middle of nowhere. Maybe has 10,000 people or 15 to 20,000 people. And I'm in the city. So even if they invite me to shit, I'm like, you do realize if I go to this, I'm going to be stranded, right? Or you realize if I go to this, I got to spend like $60 or $70 when everybody else got to spend like 5 or 10.
I know that feel.
Oh yeah, you live like less than a mile away from me. You know quite well. They think it'll be better when you get a car. It's like, no, because then there's expressway, tollway, and fucking gas. It's not that I don't want to go. It's more like I want to be responsible with my fucking money. Don't get me wrong, though. If someone tells me, hey, you can crash overnight so you ain't got to worry about, walking the last 5 miles home or some shit, I'm down in a heartbeat. Don't get me wrong. After all, these are people I want to see more of, not just once a year. So, anyways, and I start telling her what Alex told me about what this dude did to his Facebook account. And Holly's like, oh, it gets a lot worse than that. I used to live with him. I was like, excuse me?
Oh, shit.
I was like, you're his ex? Like, oh, hell no. I was like, so why was you living with him? We were just roommates. I was like, oh, okay. Well, do tell. Now, at this point, I'm partially curious, but I'm also bored. So Holly was like, yeah, he got girls always trying to pick him up, and he stopped caring about age a long time ago. This motherfucker.
Oh, dear.
I was like, yeah. And then he tries to brag to me about, oh, well, quote unquote, here comes a new challenger, so to speak. Coming in the first 5 minutes, because you didn't miss too much, we have Daywalker.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Sorry I'm late. I had an emergency.
Duty called. I'm not letting that one go. Anyways, all right. So just to get you caught up, because like I said, you did not miss much. This is part 3, or possibly the ending of the epic trilogy of Making Friends at Animu Conventions, Drunken White Girl Edition. One person I met is indirectly and directly involved in 3 or 4 different stories. And I'm going through the most dangerous part where, like, people had to get arrested and shit. Fun times. All right. So,
fun in air quotes.
Yeah, exactly. So just to get you caught up, because like I said, you only missed the first 5 minutes. I made some friends at a party right before I went to Florida for college. And I found out all three of them knew each other or lived with each other at one point. And one of them is basically a sociopath. But he gets worse than that. So, this dude was going by the name Dia. At least I thought that was the name at the time. People thought he was a kleptomaniac, aka impulsive thievery, when he was actually a sociopath. However, people who would snitch on him, aka old friends or ex-roommates, he would try to fuck with them. Now, this one guy named Alex King, he got into his Facebook account and basically wiped it. But Alex tells me about this when I'm in Florida, damn near getting ready to come back, and how him and his girlfriend, I think at the time, don't trust or respect this fool. And they want to get the fuck away from him because he's genuinely crazy. And he'll backstab you if it means that he'll get attention. He's that type of fuckboy. Basically, super Chris. That's the shortest way to describe him. So, at some point in time, I get back and I'm talking to Holly. Holly is also living with both of them, or Holly just lives with Dia, but they're not in a relationship. They just roommates. She told me that, yeah, he got girls trying to pick him up all the time, every 5 seconds, blah, 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 right? And at some point in time, he stopped caring about the age these girls that are throwing himself are.
Immediate red flag.
Exactly. But here's the dumb part. He thought he could get with Holly while he's talking to all these other girls and showing her that they're basically doing whatever they can to get his attention, being naked, blah, 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 in pictures, blah, blah, blah. I was like, Holly, don't you think you got enough to go to the cops? Present party excluded. Yes, for those who aren't aware, Officer's last name is Cops. That's why he's got the nickname Officer, because it's funny. And someone's calling me. And it's my mom. We'll be right back after these messages. You guys stall. Who got too much time on their hands? All right, back to the story. When we last left off, now I sound like a fucking commercial break. When we last left off, oh yeah, I was coming back from Florida and talking to Holly Morgan. Yeah, Holly Morgan or Holly Murphy? Morgan, Holly Morgan. I know too many Hollies. I was talking to Holly Morgan and she was telling me about this shit. I'm like, Holly, you think you might have enough to, I don't know, get him arrested? I was like, I don't know. I was like, well, hey, why don't you come talk to the not at the time, but eventually over time expert of getting pedophiles at conventions, asses beat, arrested, or both? Allegedly.
Damn.
Yeah, let me say that, allegedly, because, well, officer, I'm sure you've heard, but you haven't seen it, but I am well versed and known for ruining pedophiles everything at conventions.
I can believe it.
Yeah, the only one that was ever hard was the first one, because it was a dude I knew for fucking since I was 3, and everybody else got fucking easy. Anyways, so I was like, okay, look, give me what you're comfortable with giving me, but make sure you warn me about what it is, because I don't want to just like have this laying around on my computer labeled a certain way and shit, and then I don't know, somebody find this later and think I'm up to some shit. I was like, oh, okay, got you. So she sent me stuff. I was like, okay, we can possibly get him on this, right? So me and Holly still talking. I'm telling her, hey, stay safe. She's telling me cats started missing in the neighborhood. You already know where this is going, but you don't think it is. But you're right. So I was like, okay, so talk to a legal expert and a cop. Basically, need ages on the people in the video. Not the video, the pictures and imagery and whatnot. Because without any proof of age, he can claim anything. Because first off, if he knows and sees the evidence, which your evidence is allowed to be presented, and evidence is notified before it is presented. And even when you want to factor in new evidence in something like a criminal case, the defense gets to see it in advance, I think it was the defense gets to see it, and they get 7 days to form a defense against the new evidence. It's not like in TV shows, which Lawyers say that a lot, and I kind of feel bad for them. It's not like in TV shows where, surprise, you just pulled this thing out that no one knew was there.
Or Phoenix, right?
Yeah, it's not a thing anymore, or really it never was. So I was like, fuck, man. And I think I told Holly, or either we got off on another subject because she was like, Cat's coming up missing. And then she's like, oh man, yeah, I saw his new girlfriend. She's from a different state. I don't think that's going to last long, especially when she realized he's crazy. I think she's from Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
Michigan, you say? What's she look like? And it was fucking Clarissa Doran, the original drunk white girl that I found all those years ago.
Oh, wow.
I know, right? I was like, oh, shit. Now, I really, 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 really am in a bad spot because anyone who's seen my girlfriends at the time, well, not to stereotype myself, but there were certain patterns you could see in who I was dating. And as we've already discussed previously, she was like 97% of what I used to be dating. Personality-wise, she's like 50-50, but everything else, 90% similarity. And I know people know, or some people know, even though, like I said, I wasn't trying to like pump and dump at any point in time, Clarissa, you know, if I was going to be in Michigan for any extended period of time, I was going to see what could happen. If I end up staying in a different state for somebody, I'm okay with that as long as I have a job. Apparently, Clarissa didn't think like that. So, and plus I ain't got no kids to worry about, so I can do that. So, and this is where shit starts to come in. At some point in time, I think, Holly told me her and everyone else, and possibly Clarissa, figured out what he was doing to the neighborhood cats. Murdering them.
Oh, wow, that's fucked up.
And I don't mean strays, I mean domesticated, have owners cats. He was murdering them. So she told me, hey, you need to get Clarissa out of there. I was like, I don't think you understand. Once you moved out, Holly, I have no way of knowing where the fuck he moved. Because at some point in time, he moved into a place where it was just him and Clarissa alone. He fucking kidnapped her. He trafficked her and then he kidnapped her. He did the pimp/porn star trifecta. Get you to think that you will have a better life, existence, or whatever. You'll gain something by leaving the nest. Technically, everyone is supposed to leave the nest, and you do gain something, independence, but this wasn't that, obviously. Secondly, you are bribed with affection and, special treatment. Third of all, you're cut off from the people that you know or money. Basic, like I said, hence why I call it the porn star trifecta. Because a lot of people that get trafficked by pimps or near the porn star industry, one or all of those three things happen to them. So, when she tried to leave, even if it was something normal, like, I don't know, walking down the street, going to a grocery store, anything, he tied her up and shit.
Oh, wow.
He even slightly scarred and did small slashes on her body to get her to be complacent, which she was actually not, but he was so crazy he thought it was working. And eventually, I started telling people about this shit that's going on because I know Holly's not lying to me. She used to live with the dude. I know Alex isn't lying to me because Alex King has never had someone he hated that didn't earn it, to my knowledge. So, everyone I talked to was like, man, he wouldn't do nothing like that. They probably talking about somebody else. Like, are you fucking serious right now? And this goes into a problem I believe Officer and other people on here I've mentioned before. I have a group of friends and people I know that are just fucking delusional about how the real world works and actually think if someone's nice to you, they couldn't possibly do something heinous. So someone will get raped by someone, and they'll be the people that say, well, he was always nice to me. What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
That has basically nothing to do with anything.
So I was trying to quote unquote polite approach to get people to give me this dude's address, because I had no problem getting a squad together, or real talk, just getting people that hate Dia to run up on this dude. If we get Holly, he'll open the door. Once he opens the door, that's it. That's it. It's a wrap. This dude is like 110 pounds on a fucking good day.
Scrawny fucker.
Yeah. And he old as shit. He was lying about his age. Apparently dude was like, we were all barely grown. Some of us were teenagers. This dude's like damn near 30 at the time. Something like that.
Nobody.
Yeah. And I was like, listen to me. And you know how it is, officer. I told you about this. And, well, Daywalker, you know from personal experience, or maybe just you got some swole big friends. When you're a dark motherfucker, or when you are not a paler complexion, and you start yelling and cursing at people to help you do shit, they'll just run away from you. And sometimes they will even warn the motherfucker you're going after. It's fucking dumb. All they had to do was look at any of the proof and evidence and shit that people who actually live with him were saying, and the stuff I got from Holly. Nope, no one wanted to fuck with shit. They was like, he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that. Then I found out Vincent Perez, who was dating Stephanie Flora at the time, and no one still knows what the situation is on that, because the age gap is dramatic with those two. Maybe that's why him and Dia got along at the time, or I don't know. But I'm not going to call Vincent a pedophile. But Stephanie was more than likely just turning 18 when this happened. And Vincent is like 25, 26 at the time. Right? And they just go over there to hang with each other. I'm like, wait. They know exactly where the fuck he is. I don't know if Stephanie's a child or not, but Stephanie ain't gonna do shit. And she's also one of those people who's like to say, well, they're nice to me, that type of dumb shit. But her reasoning is, at this point, she's young and innocent, aka dumb. So I know even approaching her is a waste of fucking time. Also, like I said, she may warn him, which is what I really don't want. So I think about hitting up Vincent. Problem is, I don't actually have Vincent on my Facebook, and I never did. People just assume I did because I've known him longer than most people I see at conventions currently. But he can't even remember how we met because he was extremely fucked up. But that's a story we're never going to get into. And I don't know. He was just genuinely out of the loop on shit. I didn't know what he would do. But Holly obviously still has some connections. So I tried getting Holly to get from them, or talking to them or other people, and figuring out where this motherfucker lives now. Right? Now, here's the thing though. Apparently the next day or something, he decided he trusted her. Right? So she went outside one day when he went to said she was going to a store, went and knocked on a neighbor's door, called the fucking cops immediately.
Wow.
Sociopaths are always stupid. Like, genuinely stupid. You think because you got your way once, or someone lets you get away with some fucked up shit, it's magically okay. It's not. So she ended up going back to California, and I'm not California, Michigan, and this shit made the local news. And then,
shit, damn.
Yeah, it was in newspapers too. Then we found out his name ain't Dia. His first name is Sir. Yes, I'm not joking. His first name is Sir Wilfred Camilligan. He is a foreigner who did something heinous in his home country of Thailand or Vietnam.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. And his parents moved him over here for his own safety. And anytime he fucks up, they pay for his fuck up. So that at least explains his personality. Even if you're a sociopath, at least sociopaths are a little bit smarter. Right? And that shit won't go get fixed this time. So he got charged. And here's the part. And here's where it gets a little bit annoying. Me and fucking Holly and Alex King, we're all happy about this shit. Right? We're having our Final Fantasy victory fanfare going off. Riding a high. And apparently a lot of people changed their minds and shit. And they tried to get a hold of me. And they were trying to send me get well cards or, words of encouragement, emails and shit and whatnot to get to Clarissa. Because at the time, at least in Chicago, there weren't too many people that knew who knew Clarissa, but I was on the list. Right? And I did want to give it to her, but a flood, unfortunately, fucked up the printout of all the shit people were saying, get well and all this other stuff. And then she went to a convention like a year later. She went to Youmacon.
Oh dear.
Then she disappeared off the face. She got drunk, not like dangerous, got in trouble drunk, but she got drunk. She pissed off one of her good friends, Christina Redmond, who is actually, I met those two a day apart from each other because she was in the room, and I think the carpool too, that Clarissa was in, right? And fucking, I'm just sitting up here like, where did her Facebook go? Where did her any other form of social media go? Shit like that. Right? Now here's the thing. Sir Wilfred is locked up. So who is she running from, or is there someone else to hide from her? I didn't find anybody, but here's what I found out almost a week or a month later, and me and Minsu Kim was still bringing up at random crazy ass people. There were people, women, who were defending Dia, and they were trying to raise money to get him bail or something. Right?
Wow, that's fucked up.
Yeah. These people still go to conventions too, by the way. And here's what I thought was hilarious and dumb, but predictable. I'm just like, and this is how I know they have that, boy, he is nice to me mind state. Vincent and Stephanie both made a status update or a post, and it basically says something along the lines of, oh my God, we were just at his place last week. We would have never guessed something like this is going on. It's like, yeah, of course you wouldn't. Because you weren't paying attention. And on top of not paying attention, even if you were, you've shown that you will ignore shit.
Yep.
And other people started defending him, chief among them, Alex Spearland. Yeah, but to be fair, he retracted his statement apparently fairly quickly. So I don't even know if he even remembers doing it, but he needed to be brought up for one specific reason. Someone, and this is what may lead into a future story, but it won't be called like Drunk White Girl Edition. Someone alerted me that he was constantly sexually harassing one of my friend's exes. Like he wanted to get in that ass. Anytime he got out of the room, or anytime this girl's boyfriend got out of the room, he would be trying to do something. And they asked me, can I do anything about it? I was like, fuck you mean, can I do anything about it? Well, you could obviously beat his ass. I was like, do y'all understand we're not in fucking high school? When I allegedly have long conversations with pedophiles or pre-rapists and sexual offenders / harassers, it's not a public event. There aren't cameras around. It's a private affair. Also, I am not a random person to attack dog. Well, look, do you know how long he's been doing this and how many people he's been doing this shit to? I was like, and you guys do nothing?
Yep.
Well, they didn't want to say those words, but yes. So I was like, look, I'm a little bit stressed out, and I need to finish text cursing out or verbally cursing out a lot of people over this Dia shit. Because there were people I was going to cut ties with, people who were going to learn some adult lessons about being stupid and thinking because someone's nice to you, everything's cool and Gucci. and a host of other shit that was going on. So basically, the fallout lasted damn near a month. And then, like I said, over time, one day she goes to Youmacon, get a little bit too tipsy, and then she disappears off the face of the social media earth in Michigan. She went back to Michigan, obviously. And literally, fucking, I just keep thinking to myself, and I quote, could I have done something different if I don't know, I shot my shot, maybe didn't go to Florida, went to a school in Michigan or something, or the more than likely reason, because I mean, she's a little bit on the gullible and innocent side, but she can do a lot better than me. Don't get me wrong, I know I'm a 5, but fuck, she was well out of my level, physically speaking, and as far as her interest and likes, she goes to conventions, so she's surrounded by better suitors. But, you know, I'm not emo about it, and I don't have low self-esteem. I know if I get something out of my league, I'm cool with that. I'm not going to be insecure about it. But I know if there's something I want to go for that's way out of my league, I know someone will probably get to it before I will. It's all good for me. I'm going to get mine regardless. Yeah, I'm going to get mine regardless. So, and then I also had to thought, what if I actually did curse out these dumbasses, these little arrogant suburbanite children who, you know, steal their parents' car and they'll get grounded, or they'll fucking go in and curse the parents out on a daily basis and then not get any type of ramification for it. The traditional stereotypes, because I knew a lot of those. And I would tell them, I was like, you realize when you were a teenager, you were a fucking asshole? The only reason I didn't beat your ass is because you didn't come at me. You knew how to talk to me. Well, I knew how to talk to everybody correct. You didn't talk to your parents that way. Well, my mom was being a bitch. Like, because she told you you can't borrow the car at fucking midnight to go to a party when it's not your car and she got to be to work at 5 hours?
Yeah.
You know, like, it's legitimately one of the oldest stereotypes, and I was meeting a lot of them. So I just keep thinking, what if I actually did threaten them and put the fear of God in them? Would they have actually helped me get to this fool before a lot of this shit happened? Because here's the thing you got to remember. Me, Alex, and Holly are literally the only people who are not defending this motherfucker. Even if there are people who say, well, I'm not taking sides. Like, bitch, he's killing cats.
Yeah.
Well, you don't know that for sure. No, I think I do know that for sure. Because the bodies were found. So, I'm just like, fucking...
Y'all crazy people.
Yeah. And, you know, the Alex thing we'll probably do another time. And then when I feel like doing making friends at convention, because a lot of the stories have where I like to what I call bittersweet. I can't really get a joke out of them because the shit was so serious, but it annoys me because it makes me realize, or makes me think in my head, woulda, coulda, shoulda. If I would have done this to this person, could all of this have gone different? Would someone else be in a better state? Because here's the thing about when fuck ups show up. Notice how I don't get fucked up. They'll run behind my back and try to shit talk, but that's it. But then they dumbasses don't understand how long I've been going to convention, who I know, and they'll tell somebody who's going to tell me within the same hour or the next time they see me or in a text message. And a few times that doesn't happen, it still doesn't matter because it's someone fucking terrified of me and they can't come to me whatever the fuck their problem is. Or their problem is they know I'm going to stop them from doing some fucked up shit. So they want to have a wall of people who, quote unquote, play the high school game and decided they hate me because someone gave them shit information. First off, if you stupid enough to fall for that, I don't need you in my life. Fix your IQ. But if you're going to get involved, you can get fucked with them too. There have been plenty of times I've had people try to jump me because someone got mad. I don't know, what was it? Their girlfriend or boyfriend found out they were cheating through me. But here's the thing. 9 times out of 10, I didn't even fucking know they were cheating. I just said, hey, here's this picture of these people making out. When was this? Oh, 3 days ago. You fucked my sister, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that does happen. And then I'm sitting up there laughing like, you orchestrated this? Like, no, I didn't, but this is really funny. Well, how does she know?
Yeah.
Because you were cheating and didn't tell anyone you were cheating, and then when she saw my picture, she knew you were cheating. This is your fault. How the fuck is this my fault?
It's your own fault.
And then, of course, like I said, a month later or a convention later, hey, let's go to this party, bro. Yeah, you're a cool guy. I remember you. And then 3 dudes in there trying to fuck with me, and then they get their ass beat. And then when they realize I will break shit in this hotel room with body parts, especially the face, they want to stop because who gonna have to pay for that damage? And if they call the cops, what they gonna say? We tried to jump him. One dude got a $16,000 debt because I threw 3 people. Wouldn't let that shit happen to me, though. All right. And that concludes this episode of Life Stories. Officer, you got any questions or closing statement?
God, what the fuck is wrong with this community? Not bothering to tell people important stuff like this.
Daywalker?
I am busy picking my mouth up off the floor.
And this is me when I'm starting adulthood. Now, let me see if I can actually even pull it up. I'm pretty sure I can pull it up on Google. Those people thought I was joking. Like, there were some people, they would not believe anything happened until I literally showed them fucking news reports and shit. It was in the Red Line free newspaper and shit. Let's see, Sir Wilfred. Oh shit, he has a Google listing.
Oh dear.
Man held woman captive in Jefferson Park apartment. Yup. He got into the Chicago Tribune too. And boop, there's your link.
Wow. Sir Wilfred Milligan,
Yeah.
22?
Yeah, he was at the time, and we were all like 17 and 18. Let's see, bond denied. Oh, he got on CBS 2 Chicago too. Bond denied for suspect after woman was held captive for 2 months. And they got his mugshot. Yeah, his face all kinds of fucked up. I don't know what tobacco he was chewing. He was wearing bandages for a reason. He is charged with kidnapping, aggravated domestic battery, and attempted murder.
Fuck.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. He beat her. Oh my God, he beat her like the Joker. Milligan began beating the woman with a stick and a crowbar and forced her to kneel on rice and cut herself. Yeah, and then this idiot told her that she's allowed to go run an errand for him, and she immediately just went, got a phone, and texted for help.
Well, I guess it's definitely, in the long run, for the best that he messed up as he did, because, well, they caught him.
Yeah, and this is what I like to call the definition of a cautionary tale. It's not because, oh, pretty animal Asian boy, he'll do whatever I want and let me be with him, stereotype dumbassity. This is not her fault. It's not. Because no one is going to go up to you that wants to be around you and say, hey, let me kidnap you or let me obsessively control every element of your life. I don't blame her in any way, shape, or form for what happened to her. And I want to say that in case some dumbasses think this is a victim blaming situation. The point of me telling this story, or at least this part of the story, is to let people know, stay the fuck out of my way or help me when I'm chasing and hunting psychopaths. But also, just because you want to, believe something doesn't mean it's always going to be true. But what's most important, stay the fuck out of my way or help me when I'm hunting psychopaths. See you guys in the next one.